hard to miss the 24/7 coverage of the George Zimmerman trial, and it was even harder to miss Rachel Jeantel's testimony. As most know, she was the last person to see Trayvon Martin alive. Here are some moments from her hours on the witness stand.
I had told you. You listening?
Well, maybe we could break until the morning if that was...
No. I
think she came across as brutally honest. I think she comes across as brutally ignorant.
Now, the 19-year-old has been taunted for that testimony, called not just brutally ignorant, but also hostile and stupid. And much of this criticism, interestingly enough, comes from other African Americans.
I'm not an attorney, but I have to admit that I really do believe that the prosecution absolutely had to know that this woman, this young girl, I mean, she's a young woman, would come across in such a way that she could actually do damage. She is clearly, to the American ear, to the American public, someone who is not speaking proper English. She is someone who does come across as lesser educated, and those are strikes against her. Let's be real. This is a woman who is heavy. This is a woman who is very dark. This is a woman who is unapologetically herself. And these are things for which black women throughout history, and certainly today, are negatively considered because of. I think that the prosecution may have guessed, oh, put her on the stand. She's not going to read as credible. People are going to listen to her and go, we can't understand what she's saying, whether or not that is true. But I do believe that there was an educated guess there to, forgive me, but this is what people were calling her on the internet, put Precious on the stand. And everybody knows that, big black female people are jokes. She's not going to be credible.
Janine, weigh in here.
Every time I hear that, my heart just starts racing and I get real sweaty because I find it the height of insult. As a black woman, as a dark-skinned woman, as a smart woman, as someone who can sit and listen to testimony and listen to the words that are coming out of someone's mouth, that someone would dismiss what this woman said, what this young woman said, as not credible because of the color of her skin or the girth of her body. The fact of the matter is that regardless of whatever American educated ear there is, Rachel Jeantel is a 19-year-old woman who was put in the middle of one of the most highly charged cases we have going on in the world today, in America today at least. And she did the best that she could. And at the end of the day, the jury is not going to be looking, as far as I'm concerned, I would hope they're not, because if I was on that jury, I wouldn't be either. They're not going to be considering how she looked sitting in the chair. They're going to be reading the words in the transcript and seeing what she said. And I think that if they read that testimony, they'll find that she was highly credible.